the week where I go over a workout that I did throughout the week or something like that, or just analyze some workout. But here we go. So I'm gonna give you some context to this workout. This is my Wednesday workout. Wednesday is right now it's an active recovery day. So I have days where I just recovery days where I completely do absolutely nothing. This is an active recovery day. When I do active recovery days, I try to intentionally work on a skill. So the skill that I've been trying to acquire the last um, I don't know, probably 2 months or so every Wednesday is I'm working on my back bridge. My shoulders are really, really tight. Not necessarily my shoulders. I have really, really poor movement in my thoracic spine because I play a lot of basketball. I sit because, I'm a human being. And so this position is just very common for me. And getting that back bridge and opening up the shoulders and specifically getting movement in my upper spine is just something I'm terrible at. So I'm working on getting better at it. So here's a workout that I kind of do. A little bit more context of this workout. This is after a heavy squat, heavy pull day. So either chin ups or some type of pull. That's usually what I do on Tuesday. So I usually try to, do something the next day that's like not necessarily combats what I did the day before, but I'll kind of explain what I mean by that. But really, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just I'm working on my back bridge on Wednesday, trying to treat it as a recovery. Because the day before, I just did some heavy squats. I'm not like dying or anything from the squats, but it's just like I don't want to like do like heavy squats like 2 days in a row. Well, I probably could. I don't know. You can do a lot with if you treat your body right. Anyways, so here we go. This is my little warm up here. These are isometric push-ups. Isometric is just holding a position for a really, really long or for a specific time. Doing bodyweight isometrics is really helpful just to get blood flow and just to work on certain positions that may be weak. There's different variations you can use with iso push-ups. You can do normal push-ups. I like using a deficit because it, opens up my shoulders a little bit more. And isometric is only effective if you really push yourself. So if you kind of just like give up right away and you're holding a position, it doesn't really do anything for you. So my record on the isometric for this one is 6 minutes. I think this day I got maybe 5 minutes or something like that. I'll kind of play the video so you can see what's going on. So that's it. I'm just literally holding at the bottom, and my timer is like right in front of my face, so I can see how much time. I know some people don't like to look at the timer, but I have to look at the timer because I'm like I need to know how long I'm going. So I think I got 5 minutes this day. 5 minutes has been pretty consistent. It's kind of cool whenever yeah. So anyway, that was my warm up. There's nothing really more to say about that. I could go on and on about that, but yeah, I just did an isometric. Yeah, one of these days I'll get 7 minutes. That's the goal. But today was just a 5 minuter, and yeah, your arms are gonna be nice and warmed up and cooked after that. As long as you push yourself, people can give up really easy, but it's really good. Isometrics are really good at developing also mental resilience as well. So there's that. And it honestly just sucks. So yeah, there's me and my little beanie. Next, then this is like the little superset that I did next. This workout probably took like maybe 30 minutes at max because this is just something, again, it's just my active recovery day. So the superset, the first one I started with is I needed to open up my hips for the bridge. So I started with the couch stretch. I do the couch stretch very often, especially I screwed up my ankle like 6 months ago trying to do a backflip, like a running backflip off the wall. And it's just taken a long time just to gain that range of motion back. And the couch stretch has been monumental in helping me gain that range of motion back. So that's been really important. So I kind of started with that, opening up the hips. And then I've never done these lying on the ground. These are called dislocates. You can do them standing up or like on an incline bench, but I was like, you know what, let's just, try this out. A lot of the stuff that I do, like I want to teach my clients how to do this, but if I don't know how to progress and like do this myself, like I'm not really comfortable teaching other people how to do it or explain it to people until I kind of go through it. So I really want to teach people how to do a back bridge, but I need to figure out good progressions and regressions for people, and it's a good thing for me to do some of these new variations because I get to play around with it myself and figure out what's good and what's not good. So anyway, so I tried these out. These kind of like prone lying dislocates. They're pretty dope. I didn't really notice any difference. I guess it would be good just to help you really focus on the positioning instead of because you can really arch your back if you're standing up. I mean, you can arch your back when you're laying down too. So I didn't really see any benefit to it. It's just kind of cool to add, a new variation to it and see what happens. So yeah, I think I did. So I did 30-second couch stretch on each leg. I did 3 supersets of this. So 30-second couch stretch each leg. Then I went into the dislocates. I think I did just 10 reps of the dislocates, and then I did a modified bridge. So I did three supersets of that. And the modified bridge is great because it really forces you to extend the hips, but it forces you to extend your hips by using your glutes. And that's really important in the bridge because you are trying to limit the arch in your back or your lower back, and you're trying to move from your thoracic spine and bridge from your hips instead. And so this is just a really good like kind of like practice exercise for me to kind of just get my body ready for just any bridge position. So I did 3 supersets of that, and I held this position for 30 seconds. And just being really intentional on trying to rotate the pelvis underneath. And this is kind of like a active stretch for the hip flexors because I'm squeezing the glutes and getting a stretch up here. Anyways, next. So then after I did that superset, I think there's something else. There's just me holding. Oh, I did add these. I forgot this. So I added these in superset. Again, I'm really, really bad with moving my upper spine. And so I have been doing this drill because I have a fairly strong lower back. And so a lot of times I use my lower back to extend. So in this position with the butt close to the heels, it puts the pelvis in a position where you can't really extend the lower back. You have to really focus on extending the upper back. So this is kind of a drill. I think I did like just 10 reps, and it looks like absolutely nothing, but I'm being very intentional with it, and I'm trying to like kind of, I'm gonna pause it there. So I'm trying to like move this area independently of everything else, and being in this position really helps that. So practicing that drill, it's helped for me, and I think that for a lot of my clients who are maybe going to be working on this, but it's very specific. It looks like I'm doing nothing, but you have to be very intentional in this kind of like really small movement. So once I was done with that, then I went to bridge push-ups. There's a really important progression for these. You have to be really good at pullovers. You have to be really good at some trap through raises. You have to have just a very general amount of pressing strength just to do these because they're very intense. And so the higher elevation you have in your feet, the easier it's going to be. And getting this position at the top is really important because a lot of people, and I did this before too, a lot of people don't have their feet close enough to the ground that they jump too quickly into the bridge, and they don't have the proper positioning. So what you're really looking for in the bridge is you want to make sure that there's, mine is not too great right now, but this is basically as high as I can go without compromising really. You don't want a lot of arch in the lower back. You want more arch in the upper back. And you really want your shoulders over your hands and your wrist. So if you go too low, a lot of times this is what would happen with me. My hands are way out here. I wasn't actually getting a stretch in the shoulders, in the thoracic spine. I was getting a stretch, namely in the wrists. So, and this is also really good because it helps you extend from the hips. And when I legitimately focus and intentionally focus on extending from the hips and pushing my head through my shoulders, you actually feel it in the right spots. So I did 10 reps of these bridge push-ups. So you go there and extend, go down and extend, and then I supersetted with these. These are like band trap through raises in kind of a weird way. I saw these on Range of Strength one time. I was like, I gotta try these. I don't even know where I saw these. I don't know if I. Anyways, so what I'm attempting to do is these have actually gotten a lot better over the weeks, but I'm trying to move my upper spine independently again of my lower back. But this is a good exercise because you have some assistance. So the heavier the band, the easier it is because there's more assistance kind of pulling you up. So I'm really trying to kind of move just from here, and you can tell that like it's stuck. Like it's really, really hard for me to do that. Honestly, you can really see that I'm using my lower back there, and I can tell when I'm doing it right. That one was a lot better. So I did 10 reps of those, and those have been really, really helping. I'm really trying to keep my pelvis neutral, but again, my lower back just keeps taking over. So anyways, I did three, I think I did 4 or 5 supersets of those actually with the 10 presses and then the trap through raises. And then I finished out with a bar hang Hanging from a bar, there's lots of benefits to it, but it's very simple. It's just an isometric with a lot of the compression from the day before from the squats. I like to just mix in a little bit of, I guess you could call it expansion or anti-compression or whatever, just where you're kind of lengthening the spine and things like that. I think that that's really good. It's great for grip strength, and it's also good for. I've heard some people use bar hangs for like determining neurological um, readiness or neuromuscular readiness. Like there's this one coach, he said that he would have all of his clients, or he was a trainer for a sports team. So he said he had all the athletes come in and they would hang from a bar and they would have averages. And if they had a good day that day, that means their brain and their body was ready to go and they could do some lifting and stuff. But they had a bad bar hang. He noticed that they just were not mentally ready for that day, so they would do something like more active recovery based instead of like heavy lifting. I found that to be pretty true. Like when I get really good sleep, or I have this Whoop band that tells me like whatever my heart rate variability is that day, which is kind of a determining factor of how recovered you are. I noticed that my isometrics or hanging or anything where I'm holding or anything that's neurologically tasking is way easier, and I can just go longer. So I think I did like a 2-minute hang here. I did like pronated grip. But yeah, it just feels really good on the shoulders. It's really good. You can do these without a free like floating. You can like put your toes on the ground, just kind of have your arms overhead. That's just really good for you. So there's the workout. I think that's it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that was it. So the workout took like 35 minutes. So that's the workout of the week, and it was my back bridge active recovery day. So that's all you got. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye bing, bye boom.